This is the second part of our second semester's fifth prose, and that is My Lost Dollar, which is written by Stephen Leacock. So open your book, page number 57. On this page number, first line of this prose. So listen carefully. My friend Todd. Now Todd, this is a person who is a writer's friend, close friend. Stephen Leacock's close friend is Todd. My friend Todd owes me $1. Owes. O it means to have, to pay. It means writer's friend Todd had taken money for temporary use or taken $1 for temporary use from writer, but Todd, writer's friend Todd, forgot about that $1. This is the story. He has owed it to me for 12 months. So 12 months ago, it means it's a 1 year. 1 year before, Todd had taken $1 from a writer. And I fear there is little prospect. Prospect it means possibility. Prospect of his ever returning it. Now, here the writer is having some kind of doubt that there is not possibility that I will get that $1 return from my friend Todd. It can realize it means understand. I can realize whenever I meet him that he has forgotten that he owes me $1. So whenever writer Stephen Leacock meet his friend Todd, that time that friend Todd looks that he completely forgot about that $1 that friend had to return to the writer Stephen Leacock. He meets me in the same frank, friendly way as always. So always both friends meet very frankly, talk very frankly, and in the same way they meet today even also. But the friend Todd had forgotten about that $1 completely. He is not having in his mind that I have to pay $1 to Stephen. My dollar has the claim gone out of his mind. I see that I shall never get it back. So a writer thought that my friend completely forgot about that $1 he had to return me. So I think that I cannot get that $1 return now. Next paragraph. On the other hand, I know that I shall remember all my life that Todd owes me $1. So here is the writer presenting another side of his mind that in the whole life, whatever is his life, in that whole life he will remember that Todd have to give me $1 return because he had taken that from me. It will make no difference, I trust, to our friendship, but I shall never be able to forget it. So because of that $1, there will be no difference between our friendship. Our friendship will be always very frank, but that thing always be in my mind. I cannot forget that incident about $1. I don't know how it is with other people, but if any man borrow it means money get for temporary use of. So here the writer is trying to tell us that any person who is getting money for the temporary use from another person, so that person had to return that money, always need to know about that money. From Me, I carry the recollection of it to the grave. So for me, if there is not my friend, if any other friend, so even after the death of that person, I will get my money back. But here is my friend, so I cannot talk about that $1. I cannot say anything about that $1 to my friend. But instead of my friend, there could be any other person. So even after his death, I am ready to recover that $1 from his family. Next paragraph. Let me relate. Relate it means tell the story or incident. Let me relate what happened. Now here, Stephen Leacock trying to tell us what happened actually between those two friends and how Stephen gave $1 to his friend Todd. Todd borrowed this dollar last year on the 8th of April. So in the last year, on the 8th April, Todd had taken $1 from me for a temporary use. I mentioned the date in case that this should ever meet Todd's eyes. So I am mentioning this date particularly here because if any day, if Todd read this my book, my story, so he will remember about that incident. Therefore, I am mentioning this date here. Just as he was about to leave for Bermuda, so there is a place or island which is called Bermuda. There he wanted to go, and that time this incident happened. He needed $1 in change to pay his taxi, and I lent it to him. Lent it means grant for temporary use of particularly money. So that time Todd needed $1 to pay for taxi, and he asked me to give $1, and writer suddenly gave $1 to his friend for the taxi. It happened quite simply and naturally, and this naturally simply happened whenever if we are not having money to pay for any taxi, auto rickshaw, so that time we ask our friend that give him the bill whatever he is having. After some time I will repay you. This is naturally happen between friends. I hardly realized that it till it was all over, and that time when a writer gave $1 to the taxi driver, so that time a writer was not realizing it that this dollar ends here. He cannot get his $1 back from his friends. He merely said, merely it means just. He merely said, let me have $1, will you? And I said, certainly. Certainly it means definitely. Is $1 enough? Then that time Todd asked Stephen, the writer, that can you give me $1? I have to pay for taxi. And writer Stephen said, of course, why not? Take this $1. You want more? I believe, in fact, I know that when Todd took that dollar, he meant to pay for it. So that time, a writer was thinking, if Todd taken $1 from me, so he will return me that $1 after some time or after 1 or 2 days. Next paragraph. He sent me a note from Hamilton, Bermuda. So in Bermuda there is a place Hamilton. From that place, writer Todd wrote a note. Note it means some information written on a page or on a white paper. So what was in that note? I thought when I opened it that the dollar would be in it. So when writer got that note, so that time writer was thinking that in that pocket, in that note, there would be $1, and when he will open that page, that note, so there certainly definitely be a dollar. But it wasn't. But in fact, in that note, there was no dollar. That was only a written information on that page in that note. He merely said that the temperature was up to nearly 100. So there, that time in that note, he had just written that there was the temperature was about nearly 100. The figure misled me for a moment. Misled, it means was to have wrong impression about someone or something. So that figure 100, that figure was for some time had a wrong impression about his friend in his mind. So students, in this way this part ends here. We are going to stop here. Have a good day to all of you. Thank you very much.